welcome to my kitchen. In this video I'm going to be taking you through a whole day of cooking and baking for Christmas time. First I wanted to make lunch. I'm making over here the butternut squash soup. I've already pre-cut the vegetables and then I can start off on the soup straight away. I like to use a Dutch oven for most of my soups, for breads, for quite a lot of stuff. For the seasoning, I like to use some vegetable stock and some herbs and some pepper. I always have this vegetable stock powder ready in hand and mix it up with hot water and add it to soups. It also tastes very good with risotto. Usually I make my own pasta sauce, but we are out of tomatoes in this season, so I resort to the store-bought one. These are nice ones from Alnatura, and I like to cut in some bell peppers soaked in oil, cut them up and add some herbs, and then a mixture of some cream cheese and some melting cheese on it. We had Gruyere at home, so I added Gruyere on top to make it crispy. After mixing in the cream cheese, I had very little of it. There was not much left in the fridge. I wanted to use it all up for this recipe. I don't particularly follow any recipe. I just go with whatever is in the kitchen or in the fridge. And then this is the melting cheese, which I added on top and baked it for about 15 to 20 minutes at 180 degrees centigrade. To add a little extra protein to the meal, I'm going to be making a sprouted mung bean salad, adding to it some freshly cut pineapples and some pomegranate. I steamed this mung beans shortly before mixing it all together. To cut the pineapple, I have shared a shorts video. Take a look at it. It's so easy to cut. Add a little bit of lemon juice, salt, pepper and a little bit of olive oil, and it all comes together. To a salad, it's always good to add some olive oil and something sour like lemon juice or vinegar. Needs a little bit more cooking, so tiny bit of salt, because tiny bit of sour cream, not too much, just a tiny bit. I made this gluten-free seeded bread last night because I'm completely gluten-free as of now, so I will not be eating pasta. And this is full of all kinds of seeds, and I even put some walnuts. I'm going to be cooking some potatoes. These potatoes are from our garden. I'll be using a pressure pan for cooking the potatoes. These potatoes are for making a filling for samosas. I will not be adding salt or anything because that will hinder the cooking process. I will add the salt with the spices. Since I needed just 1 cup of peas, I will be freezing them in this swirling vacuum pack. That way we don't get freezer burn. Now I will be making the samosa filling. For this, heat a cast iron pan with a little bit of oil, add in some asafoetida, spices like cumin seeds and mustard seeds, then add in the chopped onions and bring in all the other rest of the vegetables together. After some time, when it has all come together with the dry seed spices, then add in the powdered spices like turmeric powder, coriander powder and chili powder. You can also add a little bit of garam masala. To add a little bit of extra flavor, add a teaspoon or so of coconut sugar or jaggery or any raw sugar with a little bit of lemon juice. To garnish, you add freshly cut coriander leaves. Cool this and then you start filling in the samosa. Now I'm going to make the samosa dough. I usually have a measurement like 2/3 of it is freshly ground spelt and then 1/3 is all-purpose spelt flour. Because spelt is low in gluten, I'll have to add in a little bit of all-purpose flour. That way it all comes together. And then I'm adding a little bit of ghee, about a teaspoon or so of ghee, then salt and a tablespoon of yogurt. Bring this all together with adding very little water. Spelt is low in gluten, so it can be difficult to handle if you add too much water. Just make it into a tight dough that is easier to roll and to fill and to fold later. Let it rest for about 20 minutes before starting on making the samosas. Bake the samosas at top and bottom heat in between at 180 degrees centigrade for about 15 to 20 minutes or till it has turned golden brown in color. I have measured everything last night. I will leave the recipe in the description box from my blog. What I'm going to do is first mix in all the dry fruits. I want to get on with the cake because this will take longer. Lot of plums, 350 grams of plums. Then this is raisins. And I'm not using cherries because they have this cochineal, the dry cherries. So instead, I've increased the quantity of candied lemon and candied orange. All of these are organically grown, so there is no sulfur or anything to lighten the fruits. To avoid the fruits getting stuck under, because this is a very rich fruit cake, add a little flour and mix it. Heat the oven to 150 degrees centigrade. We will be baking this for 4 hours with very low heat. Like 150 is the maximum you can go. For that, I have set the cake tin. I will show you how I've done it so that it can bake at such a low temperature for quite some time. Again, I'm also adding about 50 grams of almond flour. So you can add this together to give it that dry texture. Grated rind of 1 lemon. Make sure you use organic ones because they are not coated. Now I'm going to be adding this butter. This is 225 grams of butter, equal quantity of sugar. So we will cream this and then add in the sour cream. I've been making this cake since more than 25 years. Then sugar, same quantity, soft brown sugar. Keep the butter at room temperature, that way you can easily mix it and cream it together. Make it soft. You can use the KitchenAid mixer. I've done it previously too with the KitchenAid mixer, but right now I prefer to use this. I forgot to tell you, you'll also be adding about 50 grams of split almonds. Now it's smooth and creamy. Time to add 1 tablespoon of golden syrup. And then you will be adding the sour cream. 450 milliliter of sour cream. For the flour, I'm using self-raising spelt flour. I made the self-raising flour myself because we don't get self-raising flour in Switzerland. Now what we're going to do is sift in the flour. I've added the baking powder, baking soda. But before that, we have to add 1 teaspoon of allspice. This gives that Christmassy flavor, 1 teaspoon. And then grated nutmeg. I like to grate fresh nutmeg every time. fold it, that everything is mixed inside. This is how I prepared this tin. I have put a triple layer or 4 layer of brown paper around, and then here 2 parchment paper, and around here also double parchment paper, and in the oven I have a few more parchment papers. Now it's time to spoon in. Use a 20 by 20 centimeter square cake tin with a spring form, then it's easier to take it out. I had here the freshly ground half a teaspoon of baking soda and baking powder together. Very strong. A teaspoon of ginger. Half a teaspoon cinnamon powder. I'm going to add 75 grams of golden syrup. Now after this I'm adding 175 grams of molasses. Probably it needs that much. Butter. 25 grams of butter and 25 grams of oil. Let's hope it comes out good. Okay, this I let it sit, and then I will make it into a dough and leave it in the fridge overnight and bake it tomorrow. So now I'm going to put this away in a cling wrap, and then I'm going to keep it overnight in the fridge, and tomorrow I'm going to bake it. Okay. I think it will work out. Such a sticky dough, but when it rests overnight in the fridge, it will be nice, easy to roll it out. The cake was baking for 3.5 hours, and then I took it out and let it cool in the tin for about half an hour or so, and let it cool after removing it from the tin the whole night. I'm going to put it in a tin and save it up till Christmas. And the cake looks like this. I have this tin from IKEA, in a few years, I'm going to store it in this tin till Christmas. Fits perfectly. This dough has been resting the whole night because I had no time to finish all the work yesterday. I will be using like these gingerbread forms, heart, one Christmas tree and a star. I make it little big so I can do some icing work. Heat the oven to 190 degrees and it needs to be nicely floured. I think I take 1/4 inch. This is an old Christmas present from my husband. I have now 2 trays of gingerbread cookies, roughly about 25, and I'm going to bake this and then I will do the icing. Preheated the oven to 190 degrees centigrade. They're nicely soft. I added half a cup of icing sugar, which was an organic one, so I had to sieve it completely so it goes smooth, and then 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. And additionally, I added also a little bit of honey to it so that it has this nice consistency. My daughter is usually very good at icing, but since she was not there, I took over her job. I will link the recipes below in the description box if it is in my blog and if it is in the video format in the cards above. I hope this video was useful for you and you could get some ideas. In case you are new to my channel, kindly hit that subscribe button for more such content and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for watching and bye.